requires principles. There are some certain principles that you need to put in place in order to grow. So
Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, let's hear from Lydia. I think that will be the last before our speaker comes on board. Lydia, can you hear me? Can you hear us? Good to have you here. Welcome.
Good evening, Mark. Good evening, everyone.
Good
My
evening. So tell
expectation for
us.
today's KSS
Okay,
series is we want to learn how to grow, dominate, and discover how to seize untapped opportunities.
amazing. Good to have everyone. All right. Before our speaker comes on board, I'd like to do a brief intro. His name is Mr. Stewart Ezekiel, and he's currently the co-founder and team lead of Havoc's Tech Hub. Um, Havoc's Tech Hub is one of the tech hubs in Port Harcourt that specializes in tech trainings. I think they just rounded up one of their notifications about a tech training. So if you registered for that training, you must have gotten an email already. And aside from that, they also invest in startups. They invest in startups as well. So if let's say you're planning to have a startup or you don't know the way to go, you have an idea and you don't know the way to go around your startup, you could as well reach out to him. He's a busy person because I know how it took for this meeting to be here. I don't even want to say, but you have to find a way. You have to find a way. Good to have you, Mr. Stewart, and it's such a pleasure to have you here. And we would love to hear from you. Over to you, please.
Hi, Mary. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Okay. So first, I want to sincerely apologize for the difficulties in trying to track me. Basically, the last 2 months of every year and the first 3 months of every year is usually the busiest for me, and it's crazy. But I'm glad that I'm here, and we can start. I want to welcome everybody. There's something I'm excited about. Two things I'm excited about this section tonight. It's one, the topic, the main theme: grow, profit, and dominate. Um, and the second thing is the fact that it's a closed meeting, and I'm gonna have just a couple of people I can sincerely share my thoughts with, and I hope maybe you'll be able to ask very direct questions, and I'll be willing to help and talk with you. It's also important that I mention that I am not in any position to, um, I'm not here to impress you. So that means I'm not going to be saying things just to make you feel excited, or how do they put it now, or make you like me. You do not have to like me. That's not the mission for tonight. I have just one assignment, and that assignment will be to get you to see things a little bit differently and be intentional about your growth and understand what that means as well. So I'm just going to share. I just have, so I have 5 slides. So apart from the topic slide and the thank you slide, I just have 5 slides. And I'm going to try to run them as fast as possible. Mary, is it okay? Can I share?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Please go ahead.
All right. Yeah, Mary, please confirm. Is it showing?
Not yet, but I believe very soon.
Okay, let me try to share again.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's showing now.
All right, fantastic. All right, so grow profits and dominate. I said, this topic is so important to me because it is one area that I feel people don't talk about much. We just say, let's grow, let's make profits, and let's dominate or something. Well, I just believe that we can have this very close conversation tonight and try to have some sort of unique perspective as to this is what it really means. And I'll go straight to my very first slide. Okay, so just a second. Okay. Please, Mary, confirm you can see it now, yeah?
Yeah, it's showing.
All right. So the very first thing I mentioned there is make a decision, not a wish. So whatever we're going to discuss tonight is just going to be like one of those things we hear all the time, or one of those things we just talk or attend seminars or stuff like this and just hear them and it's okay, yeah, we've heard that. But you have to, we have to make a decision. Decisions are completely different from wishes, right? Wishes is almost like if I have the power, if I don't have the power, but this is what I really want, what I really need. But when it comes to decision, it's like I need to do this. Okay, I need to do this. So we have to make a decision, and that decision is simple: that we want to grow, we want to make profit, and we want to dominate. We have to intentionally make it a decision. Like I'm ready to do this. I have to. And I will tell us something about making decisions. It's not just getting excited or getting motivated most times, and we just say, I'm not going to do this. No, no, no. You make decision from a place of understanding that, see, things are going to happen. Things might not go the way we plan it. Things might not turn out the way we're going to work, strategize or stuff like that. But I've decided I'm going to do this. So the same with people say I'm deciding to give my life to Christ. I've decided to go to school. I've decided to come visit you. Decisions are very vital. You cannot live your life on whatever comes. You cannot live your life on just whatever comes. So whatever comes, we're good. Whatever, no. We have to live our life on decisions. Okay, we have to make that decision. And I really do hope that all of us tonight, we've made very important decisions. I'm going to make some more, for just tonight, moving forward. And so there's something I have here, and I said, growth fuels our vision, Profit will sustain our mission, and dominance secures our legacy. And if we can master these three, the world will definitely follow our lead, right? So the three concepts of growth, profit, and dominance, they are very important. So we'll have a vision. Growth is definitely going to fuel it. Profit is going to sustain we're buying, and dominance is going to help us secure the legacy we're building. So let's get on with it. First, for us to grow, uh, Esther, please go ahead. You raised your hand.
Okay, that might be a mistake if she's not responding immediately.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So first thing is grow. So you see, when they say grow, one thing I noticed over time is when they say grow, we want to push everything to the other side. We want to push everything to the things we don't have to grow. We want to push everything to the atmosphere, the environment, rather, the government, the church, the school, our parents, our background. But you see, when it comes to growth, if you really want to attain growth, you have to turn everything to you. In other words, you have to be in control, absolute control. So the first thing is sow or build. You can't grow something that you've not sown. So growth is something, before you say we want to grow something, it means that we've put something in place and we want to grow it. So we must sow something. So what are we sowing? Maybe we're sowing our skill, we're sowing in business, we're sowing our career. So we're working somewhere and we need to grow. So the fact that you started working, you've sown something. So we need to, so there must be something that you've sown. We cannot just be with empty hands, empty thoughts, empty activities, and we say we want to grow. It doesn't work that way. For you to grow something, we must have sown something. There is something that is okay. We sow this thing, and or we've planted this thing, or we've built this thing. So let us grow it. We've laid a foundation for something. So let us grow it. That's the first thing about growth. And trust me, guys, it is not as easy as it will be painted. But the truth is, growth never ends. It is a very interesting journey that as you keep moving, you just feel like I'm here now. Let me move to the next level. Let me grow to this other level. Let me go to this other level, right? So if we must grow, we need to plant something. We need to sow something. So we need to ask ourselves tonight, what have we planted? What have we built over time that we even want to grow? Is it our career? Have we been able to do that? Have we planted a career that we now want to grow it? Have we planted a business that we want to grow it? So do we have a skill that we say, okay, we need to grow this skill, over time? These are very, very important questions we need to ask ourselves, right? Number two is that you need to nurture it. Whatever that we've planted, for it to grow, we need to nurture it. We need to water it. We need to remove the weeds around it. Now, this boils down to whatever we're doing. If it is about your career, you need to be very careful. How much are you nurturing your career? What are you currently doing in that company, the organization? What are you working at? What are you working at? And how much are you nurturing yourself? How much are you nurturing it? I'm doing this. How much courses are you taking to be a better person, a better receptionist, a better executive secretary, a better whatever salesperson, whatever it is? How much are you taking to nurture it? How much are you watering it for it to grow? Remember, the key word there is grow. So we must nurture it. You have a skill you learned for about 6 months. Ever since you finished learning it, how much are you nurturing it? Have you learned new things? Do you understand what's happening in your industry? These are a couple of stuff that we need to intentionally ask ourselves. we need to intentionally ask ourselves, you must nurture it. You must nurture it. If you have a business, how much are you nurturing your business? All right. You see someone who say, okay, I'm a fashion designer. For 3 years, you've just been there. They call me on WhatsApp, I sew and I give to them. No doubt. But would you actually say you've grown? Okay, maybe you attended to 20 customers 3 years ago. 2 years ago, you did about 50. Maybe last year you did about 70. Would that really be what you call growth? With what you're doing, will you be able to dominate and build a legacy per se, right? So you should now understand that nurturing is very important, that we'll be able to nurture it. So if we have a plant, we're getting water to pour on these plants every morning. That's a whole lot of work to do. It's the same thing you should be doing for your business, your career, your skill. You need to nurture it intentionally. Now, get this very clear, that the growth phase of anything you're doing is not a party phase. And once you understand this concept and you're very intentional about it, it is almost difficult for anybody to stop you. Your growth phase is not a party phase. It's not a phase. It's a phase where you have to be very ruthless, right? It's a phase which takes us to the next thing. It's a phase where you have to learn how to serve and connect. You call it networking, and I'm using the word connect now, all right? That particular growth phase is where you have to serve and connect. You have to serve and connect. If you're doing a particular thing and you're in a particular space and you're not willing to serve and connect, your growth is going to be impeded. This is the truth about life, right? That there is someone who's gone ahead of you, and that it is not every time that you have to struggle so much to get certain things, that you should be able to build valuable connections, valuable networks, that such that your people will be able to mention your name in rooms that you're not available or that you're not present in. And the truth about it is that in most cases you have to serve. And serving is not like being a housemaid or something like that. You can serve with your skill, you can serve with your knowledge, you just have to, and start building valuable networks over time. Volunteering for some of you could be what you need to grow, because nobody is seeing what you're capable of. But being able to volunteer for ABC, they say, oh, you're doing this stuff. And yeah, I told someone 2 days ago that there's actually an event happening in Rwanda that I'm volunteering for. And the event eventually is coming March, the same time when we're going to be hosting Tech Up Port Harcourt. So I can't travel to Rwanda, but I'm volunteering. Now, I'm not going to be there to maybe say ushering on all those things, but with my skill, with the kind of things that my company do, we say, okay, we're going to volunteer to do ABC for you. We're volunteering to build this ABC for you and all that. We designed those systems, did this, did that. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing. So at every level, people are, and I told somebody that I learned this a couple of years ago when I attended, I think, the Church of Nigeria or something like that, Church of Christ, somewhere in Port Harcourt here. It's one church with one of the most successful. That church is somewhere around, I think, at the back of Spa or something like that. It's one church with most of the successful men in all spheres of life in Port Harcourt. Silent millionaires, I kid you not, that attend those churches, like very, very wealthy men. And the day I went there, we were actually plotting to connect with somebody, and that's a long story. But the day we went to that church, I saw millionaires I knew serving They were more like ushers. They were welcoming people, right? Yes, it's true. They're serving the house of God. They're doing it for God, and I understand that. But I'm just trying to paint a picture to you that it means that service is very important. As a matter of fact, service is one of the first things you need to do if you want to build influence. If you want to influence people you serve, if you want to influence your ecosystem you serve. Jesus is so influential today because he served, right? So the fourth thing, if you must grow, is to keep watch. You must keep watch on your skill, on your business, on your career. And that means you're looking out for what's going on in my space. What's the latest thing in my space? What do I have to learn? What do I have to hold on to? You have to pay attention to those. Very, very important. You have to pay attention to those. So you have to keep watch. You don't just keep nurturing the stuff and then you're not paying attention if there are weeds coming out so that you can root them out. Those are very important things. So you must keep watch. And the fifth thing I said is for you to avoid what I call the FPT. FPT means full package trap. Full package trap. What do I mean by full package trap? So there's something happens when you're starting out to do something, and this is specifically for those of you that are into businesses, so that'll be coming up with ideas to, to run a business or to set up a business or something. There is something that happens where you want to make sure that what you want to do has everything. It is one trap that has killed a whole lot of people and stopped them from growing. You must learn how to come up with, what do I want to do? ABC kind of thing. And okay, so let me start. You start off with A and B, which is the core value proposition you want to give out, which is your minimum value product. And it's okay, let me start up with this. Because most times when you want to say, let me get all the full package, it must have A, B, C, D, E, F, and all that, because you feel like people are, there is this feeling that if I don't do all of them now, someone else will do it. But this is what normally happens. Is the fact that 2-3 years later, you realize that you are not even comfortable with the way you've done them. And you feel like, I wish I, but surprisingly, you're probably the one doing it the best. So why was the rush really necessary? So you gather all those things and resources you would have used to position for marketing, the resources you would have used to position for personal branding and build yourself into very, very reasonable influence. You probably were using it to satisfy what you call a full package. And now growth has become a problem because for you to carry all of them all at the same time and be moving is now a very big challenge. All right. So you want to avoid the full package trap. Right. Now, the second thing is profit. How do you ever want to make profit if you don't create value? So there must be a value you're bringing to the table. If you're working, you're following a career path, you're working, you have to learn how to create value. Creating value is not just for those who are going into business and stuff like that, no. Ask yourself, if they decide to fire about 50% of people working in this company, would they fire me? I know they said that no one is indispensable, but trust me, there are people who are very, very difficult to replace in organizations. So what value are you bringing? Now listen, if you're working, and as long as we're having this conversation, I promise I was going to be open and share thoughts with you, hoping that you'll be able to understand where I'm coming from. If you're still at the level where you're doing as much as you're being paid, you're not actually doing your employer, you're doing it to you. If you're just doing as much as you're being paid, because the truth about it is, you're relatively what we'll call a liability employee. You're not an asset employee. You're not the kind of employee that your employer feels, I'm underpaying this person. You're not the kind of employee that your employer feels like, oh, more, if let them not snatch this worker from me. So you're still at that level where everyone feels we can replace that level, that this particular person. Ask yourself, if this company decides today to give 10% of the workers shares in the company to be part of the company, to be part of shareholders of this company as a way of, compensating you, and then, ask yourself, will you be giving? Will you be giving shares? So bring value. If you want to make profit, create value. Create value. Profit is not just about money. Profit is also that you're able to hit a particular milestone, that you're able to get to a particular level, whatever you're doing, it's profit, right? So create value. If you're in business, start thinking, what value am I creating? What solution am I bringing on board? Because this is why it's important. People pay for solutions and benefits. They don't just pay for products. People pay for solutions. People pay for value. People pay for, right? Therefore, it is important we create value. So, what value are you creating? Just ask, let's ask ourselves that important question. What value am I known for? Would they use to identify me and say, hey, this is the value this person is creating? And that is what people will pay you for. That's what people want to bring money for you for. All right. Look inwards. There are things that God does not make mistakes, right? God does not make mistakes. So there are things God has built you with. How much value are you using? How are you creating with those things He has created you with? Now, the second thing is you must invest. You must invest your time, energy, and money if you ever want to make profit. There is no return on investment without an investment. There must be an investment before you get returns. So for you to make profit, you must make an investment so that at the end of the day, when something comes in, we'll be able to subtract the things that we invested, and then that is how profit comes on board, right? So invest your time, energy, and money. Most of us shouldn't be where we are now. But what's stopping us is because we don't even want to invest the little we have. We don't want to. There are some of us that have done stuff. You're on social media, and maybe let's say in a month, really, you've had like shawarma 5 times. So let's peg that at 15,000. And let's just round it up and say that's $10. It is the same $10 that you would have used to run ads on a particular thing that you're doing for 5 solid days. You generate more leads, you make more sales, you make more money, and you have more shawarma. So the reason why most times we're stagnant where we are is because we do not understand the power of investments. And each time people say invest, everyone is talking about, oh, I don't have millions. No. It's your time. Time is one of the most valuable assets you have. How much time are you investing in what? I mean, think about it. I told someone, I said, you shouldn't just be surprised about the growth of my company. I invest approximately 16 to 20 hours of my time in what I do. On a daily basis. It's 7:38 p.m. I'm still in my office. We're preparing to resume for next week. I'm there. I'm doing what I need to do. My team is there doing what they need to do. It's so important. So how much are you investing your time? Like your time. Let's leave money first. We'll get to it. But how about your time? How much time are you investing in you? Like you, apart from your eating, really, this thing I want to do, how much time? How about your energy? See, there is an article I'm working on. It's called, I call the indispensable EAT, EAT. You see, energy, attention, and time are three powerful things that will determine, that will actually be responsible for those that will succeed in the next 10 years and those that will not. So how much are you investing your energy? Because we want to make profit, right? You're not investing time, you're not investing your energy towards that particular value, and we want to make profit. That's not possible. What's taking your attention? So invest your time, invest your energy, and invest your money. I'll tell you for free. Invest your money. See, you invest so much that things will just be coming, and people will think that, what's he even doing? How did he even? But you're just making money. I'm telling you honestly, you're just doing what? Making money because you've invested. You're growing, you're making, when it comes to influence, you're there. But because you're that's profit. So you're profiting from everything. So everyone wonder why everyone respects you. You've invested. Everyone wonders why you're so influential. You've invested. And you don't have to do these things like, no. And that's why each time I keep saying, ask yourself, how much money did I invest in whatever I wanted to do last year? How much time did I give to it? How do you ever think you can beat me in my own game that I put in almost 16 hours on a daily basis to build? So I've got God, I've got grace, I've got God's mercy, and I've got me, four powerful tools. How do you ever think you can beat me in my game? And so people has been in my space for 10 years, and I'm there for half that number of years. And they ask you, how do you do it? And I look back at how they were doing it, and I say, yeah, I know the difference really. The third thing, if you must make profit, is understand the space. If you're working, how much do you know your space? You're in real estate. How much do you really understand the real estate space? You're in the content space. How much do you understand the content ecosystem? You are in the banking space. How much do you understand the banking industry? You must understand it. When you understand it, you'll be able to navigate through and position yourself, position whatever it is to make profit. You get the right kind of customers if you're in business. If you're working, you'll be able to climb the corporate ladder because you understand how it works. Understand, pay attention. If you ask me anything about tech ecosystem, I can tell you the startups that has failed in the last 1 week. I can tell you a couple of the top tech events that are happening, not just in Nigeria, in Africa. I can tell you the news that is coming up. I can tell you what's happening in the AI space. It is my space, ladies and gentlemen. I'm paying attention. I'm swimming in it. Nothing should take me by surprise in my own space. In my own space. So you need to have that eagle eyes and you understand it. You're in the fashion design space. Come on, what's happening? What's the latest trend? Who are those people who are like they are powerhouses in your space? How much do you know about them? What are they doing? How much influence do they have in the industry that you'll be able to know how to align? The fourth thing is you must learn how to market. And I know some of us that probably are not in business were like, okay, that doesn't concern me. No, it does. You must learn how to market yourself. So I was in one of the biggest redeemed churches Port Harcourt, and sometime late last year to speak and to businessmen. And I told them, I said, that marketing is not something that started like a worldly conversation. That was a direct instruction from our Lord Jesus Christ. When he said, go ye into the world, it was a direct instruction. He asked us to go and win souls. How do you win souls if you cannot be able to market Jesus? If you cannot be able to market the love of God for us, you can't be able to convert us. So he wasn't directly telling us we must be very good in marketing. Learn how to market yourself. Don't be shy. Anywhere, whatever you're doing, learn how to market yourself. Go back to your social media handles for some of us and check. If I scroll through your social media handles, can I have an idea of what you're doing? Let me share this with you very quickly. Even if you're working, one of the ways you're going to become very powerful in your space, in your workplace, is to build a solid personal brand. And that would definitely amount to profit. That we know that this person, his or her influence is somehow affecting the growth of this company positively. Why wouldn't they want to increase your salary? Why wouldn't they want to give you bonuses? Why wouldn't they want to promote you? So show up, market. Don't light that candle and put it under a bushel. You can't make profit if you're not marketing. It's not possible. Else, investment will just waste. Your investment will just waste. We're working on one of our sister companies, and I realized that the set of ads that they were going to run from 13th or thereabout was about $446. And since yesterday till today, I intentionally did not want to convert it to Naira, right? Because it's almost close to $1 million. But that is how important marketing is. How do you ever want to make profit if you don't market? So market. If you're in business, market. Learn to market. I do not recommend books for people, but I think in this section I will as we progress. Go and read books on marketing. Watch YouTube stuffs on marketing. Like sit down, watch them on. See, if you can watch Netflix for 2 hours, you can also watch a video tutorial on marketing, on anything, on strategy, on anything for at least 1 hour. All right. The fifth thing is avoid the multi-X trap. So let me explain that. So there is something in people trying to make what they will call profit. That's when everyone remembers I'm multi-talented. I'm multitasking. Everyone remembers that, what do you call it again? Yeah, multiple streams of income. I remember that one. You see, I called it a trap means that it exists. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Right? If it doesn't exist, then why call it a trap? So for me to say avoid it means it's there, but it can be a trap. So I asked somebody, and she said to me sometime in December, she said that she's not even happy, blah, 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 that this is not how she wanted her December to be, despite the fact that she had multiple streams of income. And I said, what do you do exactly? She said, oh, she's in real estate, of course, she's doing this, she's doing that, multiple streams. I said, okay. I said, what kind of multiple stream of income do you have that at the end of the day, when they add everything you made from your different multiple streams of income, it's just about 50,000 or 100,000. What kind of multiple streams of income is that? That what you just made from your multiple stream of income is what another young girl will just pay as tithes this Sunday. It means there's a problem. And the truth is, we can divest. Nobody is saying we will not. But the truth about it is that we must hold on to something and build it so much that it makes a whole lot of sense and gives us leverage to be able to start investing in a whole lot of stuff. And I asked her, I said, okay, amongst all these things you mentioned, which one gave you a whole lot of money this year? She said, real estate. And I said, that means that's the one you give more of your time. And she said, that's fine. I said, why did you not set up construction? You're still in real estate, you're selling property. People buy this property, most of them actually go ahead to want to build. So why didn't you set up something on consulting for construction, or be able to set up a construction team or be able to reach out to a construction company where you make profit? That's also in your portfolio. So within your space, you can actually do all those and you're still doing a particular thing. Because the question is, even the fact that there are a whole lot of ladies on this section, if I still ask you if you know who Ronaldo is, almost 100%, all of you do know Cristiano Ronaldo. And if I ask you what does he do, you will say football. But are you aware that Ronaldo as today owns one of the most successful perfume brands in the world? Are you aware he owns a water company, bottled water company that is doing so well? Are you aware that he has a very solid real estate portfolio? Are you aware that he's doing so good in hospitality? Are you aware that as today he's doing so good when it comes to content on YouTube, challenging Mr. Beast? But he wasn't doing all these things when he was playing football. At the early stages, rather, when he was playing football. He concentrated, built reputation, gathered resources, built networks. People began to trust him. I will share this with you, right? I'll share this with you. There was a time, on one occasion, that I was at UST. I think I just graduated and I was waiting for service. So I went back to do tutorial. I was helping some students. And I just finished, and it was during this 5 Nights of Glory, Now Glory Reign by Salvation Ministries. And Ibiome was preaching. And then he said something. He said, listen, that if you remove him from Nigeria right now and take everything he has and put him where, that he's still going to be successful. And I want to be very honest with you, that when I heard that thing, the human nature in me, the whatever in me, you're like, well, it might not be entirely true, well, to be honest with you, I didn't completely believe him. But now, I say the same thing because now I know better and I'm sharing the same thing with you. That when you take your time to create value, invest in it, understand your space, and you're able to market yourself, you make profit, but not just that you make profit, that you're going to build a solid social capital such that you will understand that true wealth is not in money, but in knowledge. True wealth is not in money, but in knowledge. Because today in Los Angeles, there is a serious fire. People's businesses are burning down. Guess what? A lot of persons are going to lose their jobs, not because companies are not there, but because the companies need to rebuild. Who are those that are going to rebuild them? Entrepreneurs. What are they going to rebuild them? The knowledge that they've had doing that thing. Now they have to start again. Will it be easy? No, but that knowledge is what you can't take from them. So where you're working, because you created so much value, you invested so much in yourself, you understand the space. You're not the type anymore that just sends CV. You're the type that you've been able to market yourself. You've built social capital that you can say, in short, the other company is hearing that she's no longer working there. And they're saying, can we hire you? If you're doubting this part of it, go and research in the banking sector. Look at their top management executives. You will see that this one was this at First Bank, and then later at GT, and now this at Union Bank? Why didn't they go to hire other people? It means that while they were here, they created value. They invested so much in themselves. They have so much knowledge of the space, and they marketed themselves. And just like what we said in the other slide, they were able to build very valuable networks. So don't just say I'm multi-talented because of that. This month you're here, next month you're on the other one, next month you're on the, and most times you just make the excuse, I'm still trying to, but time is going. Time is going. Time is going. All right. So let me go to my last slide so that probably I can take questions. The last thing is dominate. How can we ever dominate if you don't acquire knowledge? So I'm going to tell this to you. The secret of the things you're looking for are not actually mostly in even webinars like this or conferences. They are hidden in books. They are hidden in books. The things you're looking out for.
Our speaker, okay.
Right, sorry. So acquire knowledge, guys. See, pick your industry. This is not about I bought this book, you snap it, and no. I told someone, I say, you will never hear me on social media say I'm reading this book. And I'm not saying those doing it that they are doing something wrong. No. That's not what I'm saying. You're not doing it for somebody. You're doing it for you. Someone I know so much that has some level of influence on social media. And now sometime last year that he just started reading The Richest Man in Babylon. I was like, hey, I read that in 2013. When I've not even was still trying to wrap up from school. So I read that since 2013. Read. And trust me, if Mary should give every one of us on this call 20 minutes and say speak on a topic to encourage everyone, motivate everyone here, all of you will do good. So we know what that means. What that means is that you've outgrown too much motivational talks. You've outgrown it. This is the time to do the work. This is time you wake up and tell yourself, I don't want to give up. You don't need a conference where Tony don't give up. No. This is the time where you talk the real things. I'm telling you this. Acquire knowledge. Read. I know most of us, I was telling somebody that the reason why most young people we don't read is because the experiences people had in school when it comes to reading and stuff like that. But trust me, guys, it's beyond that now. Go and acquire knowledge. Read about your industry. Now I'm not just talking about novels, no. Read great books. Read books on marketing. I'm telling you. Read books on self-discipline. Read books on sales. Read books on leadership. Intentionally. Read, go back, read again. Mark things, write them out, practicalize them, learn, unlearn, relearn, acquire knowledge. I will say this again. I said the things you're looking for are hidden in books. The things you're looking for are actually hidden in books. And now I'm not just talking about 10 secrets there are no secrets anywhere. Everything you need to succeed are there these days. Go to YouTube, find them. There are no such thing as secrets. Just look at successful people, you find whatever you're looking for. But acquire Acquire knowledge. Acquire knowledge. If you must dominate, see, dominance is my game. If you had me these three things and they say still what you must pick or just one, I would have picked dominance. It's my game. I have results in it. And I'm sharing with you. Acquire knowledge. If you don't like reading, listen to audiobooks. A quick Google search, you can say top 10 books on whatever your industry is. Don't be in a hurry. Don't say I want to finish 10 books so that I can say I've read 10 books in 1 month. No. Intentionally. When you pick one and it's like 10 chapters, if you want to do 1 chapter per day, that's okay. Acquire knowledge. If you're in business, look out for books like The Art of War. It will change your life. You will understand what dominance is. Dominance, it's a game that you must learn how to play. And each time I share with people, I tell them that it is one of the only instructions that God gave from the beginning. It was an express order from God. He said, go and have dominion. Dominating means that you become the standard. Dominating means people start copying your strategy. Dominating means you become very, very influential. Dominating means you're setting and you're leaving a legacy behind. Strategy is king when it comes to dominating. So you must learn how to come up with strategies and say, sit down. You sit down and say, okay, what do I need to do? Map out ABC kind of thing to be able, you must learn how to map out strategy. If you must dominate, you must learn how to execute. That's why I say action over talks. Learn how to take action. Don't just plan and plan and plan, and you can't dominate like that. You must have what is called grit. You must have what is called grit. And let me just say this before I take that last one. If you want to dominate a space, you can't dominate a space you don't understand. If you're in the fashion industry, how much do you understand the fashion industry? If you're in this industry, how much do you understand this industry? You must pay attention to it. I'll say that again. You can't dominate any industry you don't understand. And when you enter and you want to dominate, if you do exactly the same thing they are doing, you can't dominate them. So for you to dominate, you must understand what's going on. That's why it's like a war strategy. You must understand what your opponents are doing. You must understand the kind of weapon they are coming to war with. And then you build your army. You build your army. You execute, but you must have it. A few years ago, 4 years ago, the whole government, what they call, I can't remember it now, but they were using tech creep. It was a tech skill, whatever. They were training about, was it 200 or whatever number of students and all that. And a whole lot of people supported the program, wealthy men supported. And then imagine a small company like ours then waking up to say we want to train 300 reverse youths for free. People didn't believe it. Some persons didn't even apply because they feel like, how are they going to do it? How much money they have? I hope they don't want to just set a trap, register, and they say we should pay something. Today, you can't believe that people can wait from February, March, just looking forward to register for the SP300. And let me tell you what we did. We're intentional. Those are the kind of things that government will do. Do you know what companies were doing then? They will say, oh, we want to do free training for 1 week. So people will come, they will now say, okay, pay for, you can now pay to continue. We say no. Why were people using Google for free? That's why Google dominated. Google gave you everything. Whatever they give you to use for free, they give you everything is working. And they tell you can use it up to this point for free. So everything is working. When we're doing our free training, we do it so good. And I'm not kidding. We do it so good that people that paid, like paid trainees, can volunteer. There were a whole lot of activities contributed. Now, last thing that is DAE trial. Hello, Mary, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, fine. So the last thing there is avoid VAE. What is V? V is validation. What is A? Award. E, experience is the last thing. And let me explain that. If you want to dominate, you must avoid these things. See, you see these two words, underdogs and underrated. Teach you how to take advantage of them. Most times, being underrated is an advantage. Most times, being an underdog is an advantage because loads of people are not paying attention to you. So it gives you an advantage to keep moving. It's a strategy. It gives you an advantage. They say, what are they even doing? When we started hosting Tech Up Port Harcourt the first year, some people that call themselves at that time key players in the tech ecosystem said they came that day just to even confirm to see what we wanted to do. Like before that time, there was no tech company, like local tech company that was organizing an event in Port Harcourt, a tech event. Events were being organized by Google, Microsoft, TechPoint Africa, all of them coming from us and outside. So they did not believe or see that a local company could do that. Well directed. Guess what? It is now one of the largest tech events in Niger Delta. Guess what? We've dominated the space. Why? Underrated. So being underrated can be an advantage, and that's why I say avoid VAE. Number one, validation. Avoid seeking for certain validation. If you've got value, stick to your value and talk to people. But do not just do things because you want to seek for validation, because you want to say, let this person see it and say no. You're not doing yourself any good. Because at the core, the person might not actually justify or be able to even recommend you or help you in any way. You only find out sometime that you were just satisfied that this person, you were just. So be careful. The A there is awards. You see, awards are very fantastic. But if you must dominate, you must be dead to these things. Have you ever wondered why most people who are dominating their spaces or dominating in companies, organizations, or industries or business industries, they almost look like very simple and relaxed? They are dead to certain things. They are dead to certain things. So there are things you must be dead to. You could have several awards for something, but inside of you, you're like, man, I'm not even any of these things these people are saying. I haven't achieved any of these things. Maybe just because of familiarity, maybe because he knows me. If they call you for an award, am I saying you shouldn't? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that should not be your focus. You must avoid those traps. You must avoid them. I had a friend. When I was in school, he happened to be an SUG president at the time. When he left school, he opened a perfume brand. I was happy for him because I'm also in business. In short, we built his website and we were paid good money. And he trusts my intelligence, according to him. So on one occasion, a particular organization all the way from Lagos came down and said they wanted to give him an award. They wrote to him first, and we rarely talk, right? Everyone is busy, so we rarely talk. And so I saw his call that day. I finished from the meeting I was, and I called him right back. I said, "Hey, Chief, what's up?" And he said, "Hey, this thing is happening. Can we see my office tomorrow?" I said, "Okay, it all depends. What time?" He gave me a time. I said, "Okay, this time is not convenient for me. You stay around Godfrey State, so maybe at the close of business, close of work, you drive down to my office. I will be in the office till 9 p.m." So he said that was perfect. He came to the office that evening, showed me, in short, he was in a hurry, he just dropped the letter for me and said, "Go through it, then just come to my office tomorrow." So that was what I did. I went to his office the following day. We went through the letter back to back and everything. Guess what? These people have given awards to people, very successful people. I think they've even given to Tony Elumelu, they've given to Kofi Annan, former UN, blah, 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 to some governors, to some African people, and some young entrepreneurs. But there was a caveat in that letter. It was such that he was to pay, everything was around 13 million, guys. 13 million as at that time. And that was about 3-4 years ago. Or 3 years ago, yes, exactly. 13 million. And the businessman in me just like, I was like, oh boy, 13 million, how? And the advantages were enormous. It was like, oh, and okay. These people came down from Lagos to Port Harcourt. He invited me to be in their meeting again, about 3 of them. He paid for their hotel, and he was going to pay for their flight back. It was the processes they outlined. So now they were coming to verify his business. They came, they looked at the facility very close to Stadium Road at the time and all that. And they said, okay, they've seen it. And so what were they waiting for after they went back for him to send 13 million? Well, for me at that point, I told him, I said, guy, if 13 million leaves my business, means that I would have sold some things in our offices at that time. And so that I do not think. And he listed the advantages, how he was going to network with these people. It was going to be massive for his brand because their magazine and all those things, it was going to be on BBC and all that. To cut the long story short, guys, he's no longer in business. As at 2024, he's no longer in business. The truth is simple. You will get all these things and you get tired. Just build. Don't waste the time and energy you use in building to chase certain things. It's a trap. I'm telling you for free. It's a trap. If you deserve anything, let them give it to you. Build your business. Tony Elumelu today cannot remember how many awards he has gotten. Dangote can't even remember. He can't count. He probably might not even have space where to keep them. So he must have been expanding rooms, building where to put them. Just build, guys. And the last thing there, VA, the last E there is experience. So there's this thing that happens when they say, based on my experience. It is true that experience is a very good teacher. But be careful. Be very careful. That concept of based on my experience has kept so many persons from growing. Experiences are not laws. So most times question experiences. Someone said, based on my experience, I tried it, didn't work. What did you do that made it not to work? It's not that you have to go and try things yourself so that you no. That's not what I'm saying. There are things that are obvious. We say, okay, we've learned from his experience. Mackenzie came out the other day and he said he lost about 3.7 million to Forex. He didn't mention to anybody how many $1 million he made from Forex before he lost the 3.7 million. He didn't just invest 3.7 million the first time. He must have started with $100,000, $500, even $1 million. He probably was making enough gain until he lost that money. Experiences are not laws. So when people say this is my experience, analyze those experiences. Understand the history behind every experience, guys. And let me tell you this and end with it. Remember that if the Virgin Mary had decided to organize a conference for women and titled it How to Give Birth to a Savior, I know that Mary would have loved to attend. Probably Lydia would have loved to attend. And so all the ladies on this call would have loved to attend that conference. And when the Virgin Mary climbs the podium and she began to speak, and she say, if you really want to give birth to a Savior, just like I did for my son Jesus Christ, one of the things you need to do is to be a virgin. And that the only way you're going to get pregnant is that the Holy Spirit is going to come upon you. That was Mary's experience, guys. As long as she was concerned, that was her experience. Does it therefore mean that people can no longer give birth through the normal process? As long as she was concerned, just be a virgin and the Holy Spirit will come upon you and you give birth to a child. Was she lying? No. So experiences are not laws. I probably do not have enough knowledge to do a particular thing, and then I got a particular experience. And then I just tell you, don't worry, it will not work based on my experience. Trust me, those that dominate question experiences. It doesn't matter who had it. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who had it. Question experiences. That's the way you dominate. When I came into my space, they say, oh, people can't launch startups. For you to launch startup, do you know how much? Do you know how many years you have to have been good in development? We came in, we started training people for 3 months and we started giving them startups to build. Did they succeed? Majority of them couldn't drive it as a product, but they started building and started gaining experience. We gave them the opportunity to fail first, because we know that it's important that you're going to fail several times for you to succeed. So we decided to build up, to create a platform where they can start failing on time so that they can succeed on time. So if you want to dominate, acquire knowledge in your space. Learn how to draft out strategies. Learn to execute. Action over talks. Don't talk too much, just execute. Have grit. Be resilient. You will fail sometimes. And like I said, avoid seeking for necessary validation. Do it for you. Respect everybody, yes. Give everyone that deserves accolades. Hail people that you have to, and respect people that you have to. But please, don't be a slave. Service does not mean slavery. They are two different things. And every day, we rush here, we say we need this award. We spend all our time searching for those awards, doing everything just because we want to get that award. Our business is dying. Our career is dying. The money we would have invested in a whole lot of things are no longer there. Guys, and I said, experiences are good. It's true, they said it's the best teacher. It's the best teacher, I agree. But please, when it comes to when you're at a level where you want to do question understand history for every experience. History, understand, have an experience. Okay. So the biggest thing you're going to ask yourself, and I just believe somehow that we've been able to have a good conversation and I've shared my revolutionary thoughts on those topics, on those three key things, right? Your biggest enemy is yourself. If you can defeat yourself, you will do good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for having me. Mary, thank you. Over to
Thank
you.
you so much, Mr. Stewart. This has been a really engaging session because from the very beginning to the end, it has been interesting and really engaging. I really want to say a big thank you. Guys, can we use our emojis to say thank you to our speakers? I see Charity using the emoji. Can we have more emojis? Can we have more emojis? This has been a great session. Can we have more emojis? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. At this moment, I want to ask everyone, do we have questions? This is the point where we entertain questions, perhaps 2 or 3 questions before we get our final words from our speaker, and then we call it a wrap. Can we have 2 or 3 questions? I know that Modupe has been here since we started. Stephanie also has been here since we started. Cynthia also, Charity. Can we have some questions? Maybe 3 questions, and we are good to go. Okay, Charity, over to you, please. You can use the mic.
Yeah, good evening, and thank you so much, the speaker, for the wonderful session. So my question is this: I they said there are some opportunities that are distractions. So, for example, like as you are coming up in the tech space, especially marketing tech, we are applying for various opportunities, especially if you are just new in the system. You're applying for various opportunities. How do you know those opportunities that are distractions and those ones that you are supposed to go for? So how do you like distinguish between all the numerous opportunity out there to know where what you're supposed to be doing part time?
All right. Thank you, Charity, and trust me, this is one of the most brilliant questions I've heard in the last 6 months, to be honest. And but let me say this very straight. If it's a distraction, then it's not an opportunity, right? If it's a distraction, it's not an opportunity. Opportunity is as you defined it. I'll give you an example. Charity, you're a Christian, right?
Yes.
Okay. So a native doctor meets you tomorrow morning, on a Sunday morning, on your way to church, and he says, listen, that you're going to get 100 million naira tonight. That all he wants you to do is to poison your best friend before the end of tomorrow. Charity, I'm waiting.
Yeah, you said what?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So I said, on your way to church tomorrow, a native doctor will stop you and then say, hey, he's going to make you 100 million naira richer if only you'll be able to poison your best friend before the end of tomorrow. Will you do it?
No.
You will not.
Yes.
Now, do you know that that is what people will consider also as an opportunity?
Yes.
So listen, opportunities should be as defined within your principles, your goals, and your purpose. One thing I found out is that we're at the point in our lives where we've mixed up too many words and it's putting us in a state of confusion. If it's a distraction, then it's not an opportunity. If it's a distraction, then it's not an opportunity for you. What do you want to achieve? What's your roadmap for growth? What are you looking out for? It is because most times we just want anything. We just, oh, let's just survive. And see, at the survival stage is the most delicate stage because you can just give in anything. I was listening to Pastor Emmanuel Iren of the Celebration Church, and he told a story of how he was in a car and these one chance people, there's $100 in the another. I think he said he just told the driver, I beg, park, let me go down. And he went home and was telling the mom, and the mom was like shouting, hey, he said nothing, he couldn't have fallen for it because it is not in his nature. It is not in his nature. So if, for example, you're in the tech space, you're going, say, okay, I'm going to do internship for the next 6 months. And this internship, if I see free, I will do. If I see paid, I will do. That's what you're looking out for. What you will now call distraction is when someone now say, hey, there is one teaching job that you can do, blah, 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 and all that. You say, let me just do it now. Say they are paying 40,000 instead of this free tech internship that I'm doing. That's now distraction. But when you have something, a clear goal, whatever is coming within that your clear goals or purpose, you'll be able to say, okay, let me pick this. You're also paying attention that you were looking out for internship and all of a sudden a company says, listen, you say you've been doing this, okay, we want to give you a chance, we want to employ you. You can't say that's a distraction. It is actually something you can say, oh, they want to employ me. This is their job description, and they are willing to train me so that I can become better and they pay me. I mean, that's an opportunity you shouldn't reject because the whole essence why you were going to do internship is to grow and learn. Now, a company is offering you a direct job and they are going to help you even learn, but now it's not just an intern, you're working directly. You should be thanking God. But once you deviate from your purpose to anything, that becomes distraction. And I'll tell you this. I always tell people that if you ask me, oh, how do you stay away from distraction? I'll normally tell you I don't know, that I don't have answer because my my strategy is I don't even allow distraction. So I don't know how to start fighting it. This is what I want to do. This is where I am. This is where I am. This is what I want to do. This is how I've structured it. So this is where you find me. This is what I'm doing per time. This is how my friendship circle looks like. And that's what it is. My own got that bad that I tell you for free. If you hear me speaking on relationship, you just believe that, oh, he was just blessed to be a relationship counselor. If you hear me speaking on whatever, but at the time, I told myself 5 years ago, listen, I'm just going to focus on business and tech. And in all the places that they call you, come and speak, that's what they call me to come and speak on. Right? Business, tech, growth. That's it. And I use it to sell my brand. I use it to sell my business. I use it to sell my personal brand. It's within that concept. It's within what I'm doing. Have I had things coming from politics? Yes, it was going to be a distraction. And what attracts you at that time is how much they will give me, money I will make. It's totally up to you. But if you find out that, oh, this thing I'm doing, I can channel it there. Let's go. Let's go. A friend of mine that knew that I was very good in terms of when it comes to leadership, team building, and all that. Prior to this election, 2023 election, called me and said, listen, his boss is contesting for this. They're setting up this. He wants me to lead that volunteer. I said, guy, are you even normal? I knew what was involved. I knew how much that was going to be involved. But that's not me. That's not what I do. I don't. But there was another offer to help someone who was contesting for something to design a digital campaign strategy. That is what I do. I'm in tech. I can help you do that. I did it. So if you can deal with greed, if you can deal with not being focused, if you can deal with not being intentional, it is easy for you to spot out what they are calling distractive opportunities or distracting opportunities. Because the survival phase is very crazy. So because you just want to survive, you might just say, oh, let me just take it for the meantime. And before you know it, you've been there for a very long time. When you now come back to this one that says your purpose, you've lost a whole lot of things there, right? There are opportunities hidden everywhere. Just look so closely because all that glitters really is not gold. Charity, I don't know if my answer helps you.
Yes, you've answered my question. Thank you so much.
Right.
Okay, Esther, I see your hand is raised. Do you have a question? Esther, can you hear us? I see your hand is raised. Do you have a question? Okay, do we have any other question? Perhaps she's not close to her phone. Do we have any other question? Who else has a question? If you have a question, you could signify by using the emoji. Any other question? Okay, in the absence of no other question, Mr. Stewart, I want to ask if we were to reach you, or if anyone is to reach you or would love to reach you, how can they reach you? And also would like to have your final words before we call the session a wrap. Okay. So if you have a question,
Yeah, so I've dropped my phone number. But you can just say hi on WhatsApp. But I'm going to be very much active on WhatsApp again from Monday. Throughout this week and last week, we've just been busy trying to prepare for our resumption. So
okay.
I'll be very much active. And for my final words, I just want to encourage everybody here to, I'll just put it in 4 keywords. Number one, learn to pray. Learn to pray. You don't need to be as righteous as Kumuyi or be as what's it called, godly as Adeboye or something, or be as knowledgeable as Femi Lazarus. But learn to pray, guys. Learn to ask God for the spirit of discernment. Learn how to ask God for mercy. Right? Learn how to ask God for mercy. Everything that we say, we plan, we do that. Trust me, we need God's mercy. We need His mercy to speak for us in the place of judgment, right? Because it is not actually by Him that willeth or Him that runneth, or by Him who the Lord showeth mercy. The second thing I'll tell us is, like my first slide said, make a decision, make a very solid decision to be a better version of yourself. That every day that goes by, you're just going to be a better version of yourself. That you're going to become a standard, that you're going to become so valuable that people will say, I would have loved to be like him. I would like my child, my daughter to be like him or her, right? And the third thing I'm going to tell us is that be very ruthless when it comes to execution. Be very ruthless. Don't be too emotional when it comes to your growth, when it comes to dominance. Be very ruthless, you know, because it's your life, right? It's your life. It's your life. So be very ruthless about it. Don't don't joke around. And the fourth thing I'm going to say is make dominance a goal. Every other thing will fall in place. Growth will be easy. Profit will be there if you decide to dominate. Right? Dominance puts you're going to be super excited if you're pursuing dominance. So make dominance a goal, and you will fail sometimes. You will fail sometimes, but then that's why there's something called resilience. You have to be resilient. You stand up, you keep moving, you learn, read, like I said, read a whole lot. That should be the fifth thing. Read, acquire knowledge everywhere. When you attend stuffs like this, remember I told us that experiences are not laws. So it's not that everything that people say when in seminars or webinars like this doesn't mean that they are laws. Okay, so most times you pick out some and you look at your life, you look at your environment, you look at what you're doing, and you run with those ones that will work for you. Okay, if there's anything I've learned in life, nothing in life is certain. Okay, and you know, I just do hope that everyone will do well. And thank you once again, Mary, for having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stewart. It's been a pleasure having you aboard, and we've gained a lot of value tonight. It's been over an hour. It's over an hour, and we're almost approaching 2 hours, and it's been an amazing session tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And we hope that the words that we've heard, you will not take it kindly. Everyone will go back to implement. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining tonight's session. We really appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your presence. For the recording, as usual, it will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So if you're not following us on YouTube, please do well to give us a follow on YouTube. We'll very shortly. So if you're not following us on YouTube, please do well to give us a follow. And if also you're not following us across our different social media platforms, please do well to give us a follow. You can see the link already in the comment section. You could just click on YouTube and it will take you straight to our YouTube channel, where you get to expect all of this and even more, because we are planning for a lot more content to be on our YouTube channel. So please do well to give us a follow. Thank you everyone for joining tonight, and see you in our next KSS edition coming up in a bit. Good night everyone, and please do not forget to execute. Remember the last point, be ruthless in what? I think that should be the fourth or fifth point. Be ruthless in what? Execution. So it's not all about writing goals this year. This year I want to make so millions. This year I want to do this. This year I want to do that. I want to be an expert in this. The truth is that you have to what? Take an action. If there's no action, there will be no experience. And if there's no experience, there will be no confidence. And if there's no confidence, there will be no success. So take an action, be ruthless in your execution. And if need be, if need require that you change your circle of friends, please. That's where the ruthless comes in. Be ruthless about it as well. Thank you, everyone. Good night, and see you in our next KSS session. Signing out now. Bye.
Bye, everyone.